Good morning. Happy Monday, Ronnie H.
Good morning, Mr. Rand. I know we're a little early today, brother.
Oh, Iran. Wow. That's a
Yeah,
Iran. That's a good lead in. But let's give our thanks to our Lord Jesus Christ.
yes,
And it's
yes.
a short one today, and it actually kind of confused our angel too a little bit because
No,
I
not
thought
a
yes because I when I first heard it I misunderstood it too. But it's Matthew's chapter 5 verse 3 is
bring it on.
blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Which I thought it meant that God loves a giving person, but He loves what poor people in spirit more. So I just misunderstood that one.
I mean, yeah, that has a kind of a, that kind of has a curveball-y thing.
Ooh, you
Um,
saying Jesus threw a curveball?
Possible because, I mean, poor in spirit. I mean, you want to be rich in spirit because I would imagine I thought I would have thought that you would want to be rich in spirit towards, the Lord. But, if you're throwing me a curveball kind of too, I mean, poor in spirit,
Does that make sense to you?
I mean,
Why? Oh well, yeah. Ron says you would think you'd want to be like rich in spirit, where's Jesus? Rich in spiritual things.
unless that means,
Wisdom and knowledge
well,
and discernment,
Well, we'll have to
things like that.
yeah.
unless that means, uh, humbly serving
Well, I'm new on the
without like, you like you just go about it and you don't want, I mean, you don't want accolades serving God or, you know, doing God's things, you know what I mean? I don't expect, if I do something nice for someone, I really don't expect nothing, you know what I mean?
oh,
Maybe that's what it means.
well, maybe we'll get some more clarity
There's a
on
lot
that.
of, there's a lot of, there's a lot of different ways that you could interpret that.
Well,
You know what I mean?
just never say Jesus doesn't have a curveball because he's got a wicked curveball.
Well, that could be you know, that could have been a slider or a change
The
up or
change up,
something.
yeah. I was just gonna say, yeah. Hey, listen. So let's move on. Everybody's talking about the big news over the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dairy Queen is raising their prices.
Oh boy, on the deli bar. I think deli bar.
Yeah, no, no, excuse me. So yeah, no, Iran.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So Trump pulled the trigger, took out a couple of deep nuclear facilities,
Right, right, right.
and you were the
But they're
first
saying,
you were the first person I heard say that they were saying maybe it didn't go deep enough, that he really didn't cause the
no, no,
damage.
no, I didn't. I didn't say that. No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. Listen. It completely obliterated it.
It
Okay,
did. Yep.
but but now what I heard this morning is that they may have gotten some of their enriched uranium out of there before the strike.
Well, they can't do nothing with it except hide it in another mountain. And I don't think they did.
No, they can take it to another another site.
Nah, they were all wiped out, dude.
And, and because uh, the one site was strictly for enriching.
Oh,
But
they took them
but
out, man. They had good
but
intel on this one.
before we hit that with the Tomahawk missiles, Israel's been bombing that place, and
relentlessly.
they're saying that they took out 75% of that place
Yeah.
already.
And nobody knew
So,
that those bombers were coming, which is a switch from
right,
typical United States administration,
right.
because there was so many leakers. You couldn't keep a secret in the U.S. administration.
Well, I mean, also, I mean, I don't understand. Okay, well, you know, these reporters need to shut their mouth because it's like, you don't think Iran's watching our news? Oh well, the B 2 bombers, uh, well, they just returned to their base in Missouri. Oh well, why don't we just tell them where the fucking, where our freaking military bases are? You know what I mean? It's like, come on. No, they return to their base, and that's it. You don't know. You don't tell them. Oh well, guess what? It's in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Yeah. Hey, how are ya? And next thing you know, you got the sleeper cells going after these places.
Yeah, that's another thing. Who was
You
it?
know,
Tom Cotton, the senator out of Arkansas, Republican. He was on Fox and Friends this morning. He's like, "That's a real threat. Those sleeper cells."
I know Joe Polyester was on there too.
No, Tom Cotton's a real name though. He's a Republican politician out of Arkansas. But
Oh, so you're saying that? So Joe Polyester can't come in and
yeah,
take over?
no, but Joe Buffalo can.
Joe Buffalo will.
So yeah,
Joe
so I
Buffalo
mean, you brought
is
up
a
about the
struggle.
sleeper cells. That's a real thing, dude. I bet you there's a freaking lot of sleeper cells in the United States.
Well, first of all, okay, I would imagine there is. Look at all these protests, pro-Palestinian. Okay,
Yeah.
all these Palestinians. You think all these Palestinians? Do you actually think? Oh yeah, we're gonna go over these. Oh yeah, hey, how are you? Yeah, we're buddy buddy with Israel now. Because you know no, they still want to wipe out Israel. Don't tell me that you know ideas have changed.
Do you know
They're not.
if those sleeper cells would just tune into the REL every morning, they would change their views and start loving this country.
Listen, this is the greatest country in the world, dude. And I'll gladly defend it.
Oh yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
older now, but I still defend it. But I'm telling you right now,
Ooh,
quit
excuse me.
telling these people, where these military bases are, or where this is and where that is. You know, you don't do that.
Well, you're
You
talking
don't
about
think there. You don't think that Iran has intelligence
uh,
or people that are. I mean, obviously they're barking up the wrong tree, but I think they woke a sleeping giant, if you ask me. And I'm not really sleeping. I mean, we've been active a little bit here and there, but uh,
I would absolutely drop everything to go defend this my
after
country.
you know, Afghanistan, we've been resting here, our troops and stuff. So I mean, and now they're going to poke the bear again.
Well, you're talking about defending the country. They're talking about reinstating the draft because of the Iranian threats.
Right. And they're
Uh,
saying not only they're talking about ex-military too.
but they just can't do it. It has to go through Congress. They
Right.
Because they're in 1972 or 73. There was a bill that was the war tax bill. It
Right.
ended the
Because of
draft.
Vietnam.
It ended the
because of
draft.
Vietnam.
Yeah, it ended the draft. So they just can't whip up a draft. So everybody relax. But you should be proud if your country needs you to defend it, because
Yeah, I've seen
this
a
is the
couple of
greatest
people. You
country on the
don't need to.
planet.
I've seen a couple of things on Facebook. You don't need to draft me. I'll volunteer,
Because I'll tell
which
you
it
what,
should be.
you know,
That's
we
how it should be, dude.
yes,
That's
I'll
how it should be in this country, dude.
I'll tell you
Okay.
when you and me did our stint in the army, and I think that was the best thing that ever happened to me because before I went into the army, I was doing drugs on the
I
corner,
have
probably getting ready for crime, and had I not gone into the army, who knows where I would have ended up.
Can we pause?
What?
I have a phone call.
No, if you want to take it, I'll just keep talking, but yeah, we can't
Okay.
pause.
All right. I have to
Go ahead,
take this
take it.
call,
Yeah, take the call, walk away, or turn your volume down. So, like, I was in the
though.
army in the 80s, so it was a long time ago. And it changed my life. It made me look at the future differently. It made me look at how I stood up, how I conducted, how I carried myself. Because I think if I, like I was saying, if I wouldn't have went into the army, I was, smoking weed on the corners, thinking about who I could rob next. So who knows what would have happened had I not gone into the military. But I think everybody should do a stint in the military right after high school, so they'll be ready to go if anything happens. Because I got training now. If they need me, I'm ready. Everything okay, buddy?
Yeah.
So what I
Yeah.
was
They just had to reschedule the. Of course,
oh,
they rescheduled the thing. Now that we did the show early, now they rescheduled for next Monday.
so I was just talking about, I think it's a good idea for everybody to do a stint in the military, after high school.
Oh,
It's,
absolutely.
even if it's like
Absolutely.
6 months or a year. Because
Absolutely.
like I was saying, I
No, no,
changed the way no, I
you
changed the
do
way
a
I thought. Hold on, Ron. I
3 year
changed the
career.
way I thought, how I carried myself and conducted myself after my military training.
Sure. But listen, after, yeah, I would say a 3 year stint.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Mandatory. Mandatory 3 year stint after you graduate from high school.
I agree. Absolutely.
Mandatory. Unless you have medical issues, if you're medically cleared, that's fine. You
Because
know?
I guess the Iranian president Mossad Pezeshkian, I don't know how to say his name. He was on a call with French President Emmanuel Macron, and he said that the United States must receive a response for their aggression. The United States. So it's got to. I don't think they got the balls now to do anything because holy hell will be raised on them if they freaking try to do one thing and retaliate.
Well, as it should.
You know,
Um,
I think they should learn their lesson right now. I think they're just talking shit though.
well, I,
So, but I'd still be careful, because
I,
these
you know,
sleeper cells, that doesn't mean they're going to blow something up. They can mess with the water. They could mess with our food supply. They could do
right,
something like release some kind of
germ
bio
warfare,
weapon, something in the air. Yeah.
right, right, and yeah, it's a stick. It's a slippery slope. But you know, as Steve Tasker would say, a slippery slope. But um, you know, America's got to be alert, dude.
Yeah, we do.
You got to be alert, dude. I mean, it's everybody in this country. You got to, if you see all of a sudden, like you go to these corner stores that are half,
Yeah.
dude, they're all Middle Eastern.
Yeah. Oh,
All
yeah,
of a
they sure
sudden,
are.
all of a sudden they're, either, a little bit freaking icy towards you, icier than normal because they don't really, you know, but uh, you just you gotta watch the signs, dude. You
Yeah, yeah.
gotta watch, and I mean, you know, I'm sure the CIA and the FBI and the Homeland Security, I'm sure they got their antennas on high alert, but still,
Well, the State
it
Department,
comes down to, you know, American people. If you see something, man, suspicious around these little neighborhood delis and stuff with the Arabs,
bodega.
I wouldn't be surprised, dude. I would not be surprised whatever, one bit about it.
If they were smart, the worst thing they could do is just maybe just don't pay the paper boy for when he comes to collect. Don't do anything stupid, because the State Department issued a worldwide caution security alert this morning.
Well, they ought to put, I, they ought to put every police force in the United States on alert.
Everybody, everybody should be on alert,
Everyone, high alert.
because
Code,
I,
code red.
I don't think that anything is going to happen and is going to come of it. I don't think they have the power to try anything, to be honest with you. I think they're dead in the water because we know they ain't going to attack us with
Well,
freaking
I don't think
nukes.
they do either, but uh, I mean, we did have a little bit of a problem with the Sunnis over in Iraq until I guess we got that under control for somehow.
Yeah, that's what we'll do it again. Hey,
But
so everybody just be ready. If you see something, say something, and don't take anything for granted right now because you don't know what could happen.
right, and
And this is the bad consequences of the Biden administration letting in 15 million people because you don't know
well,
who's here now.
they let in a lot of Iranian nationals. I mean, I'm not all for, I'm not against Iranian people. I am not. I think they're. I think it's more of a fear that they live under.
Well, I'm sure it's not the good Iranian people that are sneaking across our border. It's the
Well,
radicals, and
there's
the
the
border
people
was
that want to
the
get
border
out of
was the border was wide open, Ron.
right. Well,
Wide
I understand
open.
it. Well, I know, and
So you had a little taste of them at the like those protests with for Palestinians.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we need to nip that in the ass. You can't
yeah, we
let
sure
that.
do.
You can't let it happen, dude. So on the
Ron,
lighter side, on the lighter side,
on the lighter side,
your little Oklahoma Thunder won the national NBA.
okay. Hey,
They won the NBA championship.
so real
Okay,
fast,
all
real fast
right.
before we
So
before we
the
jump into
summer,
that. I know you've
the
been
summer
holding.
league will be starting next week.
I know
Okay,
you. I know you've been holding that,
NBA.
but here's a good setup for that because the NAACP. Did you see what they did? They
No,
break
I did not.
they break a 116-year tradition, and they're not going to invite Trump or Vance to their upcoming convention. So now back to the NBA playoffs because nobody cares about that. It was their first championship, Ron. You got to give them props. It was their
I
very
do.
first one.
Listen. Okay, I give them props. Okay, so the Oklahoma City Thunder are now the NBA champions, right?
Yep.
But the summer league for the NBA is starting like
Next week.
next week, Monday. So it's like, they're gonna do their they're gonna have their parade today, raise a banner today. They're gonna, you know, parade around the Oklahoma City for today, and then they got to go right to practice for next uh, for the summer season. You know, they have a busy schedule today. They got they got the parade, the ceremony, the
Raising of the flag, the
raising of the flag,
banner.
and then the banner lowering, and then they got to go to practice for next week's game against whoever.
My battery's going. Can't have that popping out with the battery towards the end of the show. So congratulations to the Oklahoma Thunder. We know because of our Buffalo Bandits, the tasty, sweet taste of victory. But we got it 3 times in a row. So what are you looking for?
Oh, someone that cares about the NBA.
Hey, so
All right. I did the cardinal rule, cardinal sin. I did. It was on my TV for 2 seconds.
oh, yeah. Ron is going to be watching the Summer League next week.
I got it all booked up, dude. All booked up.
Got the B&B ready to go. I'll tell you
So
what,
when,
man.
uh,
I'm not a
when
big
does the band start?
I'm not even sure yet. I'm not a big fan of women's basketball, and that's just nothing against. But I'll tell you that Caitlin, what's her name?
Caitlin Clark?
Caitlin, yeah, she's good, dude. I mean, I watched her again, and I just watched like the highlight show. I didn't watch the whole game. I watched the highlights of it. I can't believe she's making 3-point shots from half court, just putting them up like they're nothing.
She's like the Larry Bird.
She is like the Larry Bird. She might be the Michael Jordan of the WNBA.
Well, no, that's the other girl.
No, I don't think there's anybody better than Caitlin right now. I really don't
Oh,
think
we
there
got
is.
our air conditioners in.
Well, that's important when we're talking about WNBA that you got your air conditioners in. That was important. That's why when we're like 80 years old and doing this show, I can't wait to look back on those.
Oh my God.
We are
I
going to be
know.
everywhere.
But
Hey, so
she is good though.
huh?
She is good. I
She's
must
no
say.
dude, she's better than good, man. She is
I give her
amazing.
props.
I mean,
Yeah.
and she's everything. Passing the ball, defense. She can
She's
do.
like Seth Curry, dude. She's like the Seth Curry with the 3 pointers. She's really good.
I, you know what,
Okay.
Ron? They should have like a 4-point line in basketball.
No,
Yeah, a 4-point line.
no,
Because then you've got a possible 5-point play with a foul.
no.
I'm gonna write a strongly worded letter to the NBA commissioner.
And they're gonna say, "Go back to Tennessee, you hillbilly prick."
So what you're saying is they're going to read it.
Well, they'll probably read it, but they're gonna probably throw it in the burn barrel.
Hey, here I got some interesting news for you, Ron. They asked Billy Bob Thornton about his keys to successful marriage.
Yeah,
He's been married 6 times.
right.
How is that successful?
Well, he's a guy to ask.
I mean, do you think the context was, you know, like he's got skills on going through with marriages? Because I look at it as 5 failed marriages.
Or he's got skills of getting the girls to marry him.
Well, yeah, poppers or Mickeys, whatever they call those.
That could be, yeah.
What's that, babe?
Oh, and I gotta say, I gotta give my shout out. Good morning, Kitty G. I'm glad you're back there, girlie.
What now? Kitty G just said that he's afraid of
No,
commitment.
he's not afraid to.
That he's not afraid to commit.
Oh, so he's not afraid of commitment. He's just afraid of long-term marriage and commitment.
Well, my old man had
Or
like,
or it gets stale real quick, you know,
well, because he
you
gets
know,
married for the wrong reasons. That's
well, that
why
could be too, yeah.
me and Kitty have a really good relationship because it's based more on just sex.
Right.
It's based on common, common, not common like interests.
Right.
She just said it's looking real good for me now.
Like being horn dogs.
Yeah, like how long have you been married?
Going on 17 years.
And this is your first marriage, right?
Yes.
Were you like who do you I thought you were married to
No, I was not married.
not married? Okay. So yeah, so I'm not sure if they're wording that right because to me he failed 5 times. He doesn't have the secret to getting married.
He doesn't have the um what is the word I'm looking at? Longevity
Yeah,
of commitment.
exactly. Oh, hey, you want to hear something exciting?
Yeah. Who?
They 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 found a rock carving in Ontario backcountry that experts
Yeah.
believe to be 1800 runic interpretation of the Christian's Lord's Prayer.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
Wow.
I'm thinking that kind of validates biblical stories, right? I mean,
Yeah.
for anybody that doesn't think like the Bible's real, this shows that it is.
Yeah. I mean,
Here it said they found and translated. It shows the very same words as the Gospels when Jesus told his disciples how to pray. It was copied from that. So
yeah.
that's proof of the Bible's authenticity. That's
Yeah.
Jesus one.
Oh, you can see it. Well, you can see it anyways.
That's
You see it.
Jesus one, atheist zero.
Right. Right. Buddha the zero too. Buddha, Hindu guy.
Allah.
Who's the Hindu guy?
Hey, and here I don't know if this is how this is funny, but where'd it go? Oh, How to Train Your Dragon for the 3rd week in a row was #1 in South Korea.
Oh yeah.
I think
Well,
I think any dragon movie would do well in South Korea.
I think it would do good in Vietnam also.
Not Godzilla. How to Train Godzilla in 5 Easy Steps. Sing song.
Right. Oh wow, that was Japan.
That was Japan. So all
Oh,
right, all right.
well, you get your Oriental countries right.
Well, that's
Okay.
the whole Asian with
You
the
know,
dragon thing.
before you go spouting off about Godzilla, at least get the country right. Okay. It was Japan with
You know,
Godzilla. All right. Not South Korea. South Korea had Gamera. Okay. The flying turtle. Okay.
here's what I'm thinking what happened. They watch it, so they're in the audience. They're going, "Ha ha! That's not how you train dragon. Americans are so stupid."
No, no, no. This is how you train your dragon. You put up these bridges like in Tokyo Bridge, and you have Godzilla break them.
and you make
Yes.
two little annoying twin girls sing and to annoy him and make him upset, and he comes and he crushes the whole city.
Crush the city of Tokyo. Yes.
All right. On that note, we got 30 seconds, my friend. It's another awesome Monday. I want everybody to stay out there, stay safe. Remember, if you see something, say something. Put it, and if you
Yeah.
have any problems, just put them in God's hands, and He will
Be a
take care of
patriot.
them for you.
Yes.
I am Randy Sell,
I'm Ron Haskell.
and you've been watching the RELL, and we want to thank everybody, and we will see you tomorrow.
Yes. Peace
Peace
out.
out.